this video is about this geRecent function. So the original data, the data from the same place is going to repeatedly appear in the data set for different reporting time. And the purpose of this is to get the data of the same place of the most recent report time, so that the result will be for each distinct point, there will be only one piece of record of the most recent time. So it is done by 3 steps. The first is that we're gonna have the distinct piece of data by the distinct places, which is represented by the province or whatever the place names we have. And we're going to only keep the most recent record according to the reporting time. So to do it, we're going to create a empty collection called the places to hold the name of the places. And then we're going to put the results, the final results, in this results object. So basically what we do is that we're going to push the new places into this places array, and if the current place is as a new one, we're going to push that into the place, and also we're going to put the data pieces into the recent places. And when we put there, we're going to use the place as the index. So the original data is like this. It is having the pieces, like a collection with those coordinates and the number of cases, and then the place and country and the time, right? So what we are going to change that is into this recent one, which is the format like this. We're going to use the place as the index, and then we're going to have the data as a value there. Well, because we use the place as the index, so this index has to be unique. It cannot be repeated, right? So if it is a new place, we're gonna append it into this recent one object with the place as the index. So if the place has already been seen in this, so if it is an existing place, which means that in the places, that place is already there, then we're going to check the time. So if the time is newer, we're going to update the value. Otherwise, we're going to keep the existing value. So that way, eventually, we're going to have the data by places. Each place is unique, and then we're going to have the data sets there, so of the most recent time. So this is basically what the first part did. But there is a problem, and actually this is because of the collection of the raw data. So in which we can see that, for example, so in this recent one, we have Sydney here, and we also have a place called New South Wales. Actually, these two are the same if you look at the GPS coordinates. This is because in the earlier reports it was called Sydney, but later it was called the New South Wales. So there are a couple of incidents like this, like Melbourne and Victoria, Chicago and Illinois. And to deal with these duplications, we're going to have the second step, which is to check the GPS location. So this time we're going to use the GPS location as the index. The GPS location itself is an array, but it doesn't matter. So an array can also be used as index. And we're going to do the same trick to check if it is the new, then we push that into the final final object, which is called the recent to. Or if it is an existing one, then we're going to check the date. We're gonna update the date. So the step 2 is going to have the results like this. So we're going to use this this GPS coordinates as the index for the data pieces. So I kind of have the impression that's because the index has to be unique. So to this second step, it should be enough. But for some reason, it was very late at the night. You know, my brain is not working well, so I don't know what happened. I just found that even in this recent tool, there are duplicated informations, which I cannot see here. But anyway, so what I did is that I have the third step, which is that I have the data pieces again. And this time I'm going to check that if it is a repeated piece, I'm just going to dump it. So eventually I have the result in this recent, which is unique. So for example, in the Sydney and New South Wales cases, there will be only one piece that is kept, which is of the most recent data. So one of the questions is that why don't we just start with GPS if they are unique? But the answer is that the GPS is also not unique, because I just recall for one of the cases, I think it's Kathmandu in Nepal, that in some of the cases it is reported as a GPS with three digitals, three decimal places, but in the later cases it was reported in 4 digital places for these GPS coordinates. So which means that the GPS is also not unique. All right. So what I did here is that first I check and have the unique place, and then I check to have the unique GPS coordinates. So hopefully that by combination of place, the name of the place, and the GPS locations, then I'm going to have the distinct report. Okay, so that is the for this function of geRecent.